first priority, I think, is to get my driveway cleared. One thing I love about this grapple bucket, I used to have to saw this stuff up, throw it on a trailer, haul it to the pile, throw it off of the trailer. Now, if I'm good, I can just come into this stuff like this. Get her mostly into the bucket. Come down with the grapple. Lift her up. Pivot. I didn't get too many that time, so I'll try again. Sometimes they'll stick in the bucket, but not very often. Inch in here, see what I can sneak into the bucket without digging in the yard. Sometimes they just resist. We'll see what we got here. Now, looks like I got them that time. Most of them anyway. Yeah, we'll see if we can limp this over to the burn pile. Just love these grapple buckets because they're really useful for this. And the tractor having air conditioning and heat and all that. It's real nice. It's a Kubota M7060. It 70 horse, does not have DEF, but it's four-wheel drive, and I found it's almost too much power for my uses. But when I do need that extra power, it's nice to have. Grapple bucket and my loader, whoop, yeah, that missed me. My loader's generally going to handle about 3,000 pounds, and if I could have lifted that big tree trunk off of the ground, I would have when I was sawing it up, but it's a little more than my loader can handle, so I don't stress it too much if I can help it. Last thing I need is broken hydraulic lines, and this is just a mid-sized tractor, so those hydraulic lines are pretty wimpy compared to some of the tractors I grew up with. And all in all, this thing has made my life so much easier, especially in winter, plowing snow. Making these burn piles. Show you a little trick. When I dump my load, after I get a couple of dumps, but I'll show it now. I go ahead, and a lot of these are dead branches and stuff, so you can take your loader and just squash them, and to the point where it lifts my front wheels. But it really compacts the pile, and when you go to burn that thing, it burns nice and hot, and it burns complete. And old burn piles that I had that were just hand thrown weren't near this dense, and a lot of times you had a lot of leftover wood after the fire. Not on this one. These work really well. Corn's up, looking good. Got a nice rain last night. Looks like we're gonna have a good start to the crop here. I dropped the bucket to my loader over here. It's still got the snowshoes on it. I put shoes on each end of that bucket to keep it out of the gravel when I'm pushing snow. I found I really don't need a snow pusher bucket or a snow blower or anything like that. With that bucket, it can do everything I need to do, and it'll haul snow really well. So let's see. I don't really have a good approach here, so let's see what we can get just with the bucket. Eventually I'm gonna have to get out and just throw some limbs into the bucket, I think, but if I can do this and not gouge my lawn, which is a difficult feat, at least I can get some of this stuff before I have to get out and do any manual labor. Even if you get a few hanging branches, it's okay as long as they stay. But as you saw, I lost one on the way on the first trip, and that happens. The other thing I like about the 7060, it's got a shuttle shift and a hydraulic clutch, so you can kind of operate this thing like some of the old end loaders I used to run for the county. It makes things pretty fast when you're using the loader. The only other implements I have for it, I've got a 3-point mounted disc, and I got a 2-bottom plow, and I have what is this, 6-foot tiller, I think. It's 6 foot, and I got a reverse tying tiller, so it does a really good job when you sink her in, and the tractor will pull it even without 4-wheel drive. It's a pretty heavy tractor, and I haven't even got 81 hours on this tractor, and I bought it like 2 years ago. But I take pretty good care of my stuff. I keep it indoors, keep it clean, change oil, you know, fuss over it. And most stuff I own, it lasts me a long time. I got 99 Jeep, and got my 2016 Ram truck. I still pull a camper with it. After you've run these loaders for a while, it gets to be real old hat, and you learn all the little things you can do with it. You know, if you need to push the pile a little bit, you can kind of do this. You know, try to keep it from hooking your bucket. Smash her down if she's sticking up too far. There we go. I don't advise using the shuttle shift when it's throttled up like that. It kind of pops the clutch abruptly with the shuttle shift, so I throttle her down when I'm using the shuttle shift, and I just use the foot feed pedal down here on the floor. That works pretty good. The other thing I like about this tractor, it's got a mechanical 4-wheel drive. If I pull a lever down here, it'll pop the front end into 4-wheel drive, And instead of an electronic four-wheel drive, I prefer manual shifting as much as possible. Things get too fancy, you know, it's just something else for the brake when you're out here trying to get something done. Maybe later I'll make a video on my pride and joy, my dad's old A Farmall that I inherited. It's got an old Continental belly mower, and I like to mow around the farm with that 60-inch mower deck. And that thing has been more dependable than any lawnmower. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pick up one of these logs. Hope I don't damage the yard too bad. Gouged a little there, but this yard is by no means. I just peeled the bark off of that one. Let's see if I can get him. I'll get both, that would be great, but don't look like it. Try again. Looks like I got him that time. But again, took a big divot in the yard. My wife over here scowling at me. Seem like I have to make a lot of trips, but you know, when you're 63 years old, handling wood gets to be a little strenuous, a little too strenuous. I figure this way I can do this in the morning and still have energy to do something in the afternoon. What's a little diesel fuel, you know? I'll figure out where I want to put this. I'll start building onto the pile on this end. Yeah, that looked pretty good. grain bins here. I wish we could sell them. My father-in-law wants to get rid of them. I don't know anybody that'll buy them or come take them off our hands. Still pretty good grain bins. Well, I'll probably cut off the video. I think it's manual labor time, so I'm gonna have to get out of the tractor and just do a little manual picking up. But other than that, that's kind of how it's done. We'll see how the rest of this goes. What works really well is if you can put a long pile in one spot, then you can come in with the tractor and just pick up the pile, and that seems to work pretty good. But some of this stuff is so spread out, I'm just going to pick it up, throw it in the bucket. That'll work pretty good.